Let's talk about what actors should do in their general careers. Outside of rehearsal, outside of shows, off of a film set. How should you behave in your general career? First of all, let's talk a little bit about networking. Now, networking itself isn't an etiquette thing, but there is etiquette for networking events, opening nights and cast parties and things like that. You don't really want to treat it like a networking event. If you think of things as a networking event, I've got to go out and meet people and I got to impress them and whatnot and try to get some gigs and stuff. It's insincere, schmarmy, and that's what everybody hates about networking. So instead, try to enjoy the people around you. Try to get to know them as people. Ask them questions about themselves. Give them compliments about the show you just saw or compliments about their previous performances, and really try to get to know the person on a personal level. And then if business comes up or talk about shows comes up or critique about the show that's in there and stuff like that, in general, you want to save that for outside the parties. Just say, hey, why don't we get together for lunch? Or hey, let's set up a time where we can discuss these things. I'd like to talk to you about a new project. Can I call you tomorrow? That kind of thing. And if you follow that advice, your networking experiences won't feel like networking experiences. They'll feel like fun parties, which is what they should be. Respect the casting process. Respect the casting directors and your agents. Don't hound them. Don't stalk them on Facebook. Don't email them inappropriate things. They have a lot of people to juggle, a lot on their plate, and their job is to find the best or most appropriate person for these roles. It's okay to send a follow-up thank you card if you had a great audition for something, but don't hound them like, when will I hear from you? Where would all that stuff. Just keep it to yourself, move on to the next project, and they'll get back to you for sure if they are interested. Otherwise, there's no point in contacting them about that. How you handle setbacks says a lot about your characters. If rehearsals aren't going so well, or something gets shifted, or you lose a role, or anything like that, don't complain and moan about it online. Don't call people out. Respect the process and the world you live in. You know it's a tough business. Vent to your friends in person, but don't keep that off of social media. Nobody wants to hear it. Communication. If somebody is trying to get a hold of you to cast a show, maybe they want you to audition, come to a callback, something like that, they might send you an email or give a phone call. If you don't respond to it, they're not sure whether they got the right person, they don't have your information, and it just is very rude. Even if you're not interested in a project or you don't want to do that audition or whatnot, get back to the person and kindly say, hey, I have conflict, or hey, I'm not interested in that role, but please keep me in mind. All of that stuff really gets remembered. If you treat somebody poorly by just ignoring them, that's gonna make you seem like a creep. And who wants to be a creep? To go a little bit further, if your agent or a casting person or director or whatever writes you with notes or with a gig, get back to them as quickly as possible. In the old days, an agency needed you to respond within 30 minutes to whatever call was out there. Now you sometimes have a little bit more flexibility, but communicate early and effectively. In general, be flexible with what you consider acting, because there are many opportunities out there and many more coming about with the way the world's changing with AI and all kinds of stuff like that. So some of the things that you normally do as an actor, you might not be doing as an actor much anymore. You might have to up your game in those areas. So it's important for you to stay flexible and amenable to other types of performance. Be honest and truthful about yourself and your credits, your career. Don't ever lie on a resume. You will get caught. You will get called out, and you will not get cast. I've seen it happen over and over and over and over again. Don't embellish things that aren't true. And also don't overpromise. Don't misrepresent yourself. Don't say you can ride a horse if you can't ride a horse. Don't say you can sing if you can't sing. Don't let people believe something about you that just isn't the case, because you may be asked to prove it. Respect other people's boundaries. In general, there's going to be people that love you and people that don't really like you or don't get along with you or don't want you around in their face. If somebody's rubbing you the wrong way or you're rubbing them the wrong way, give them their space, give them their boundaries. Theater is a collaborative production, and over the years, there's been a lot of abuse in theater, a lot of people taking advantage of other people. All that's kind of hopefully changing a little bit. Definitely speak up for yourself if you're feeling abused. You don't want to take abuse. However, you want to be able to give people their own space. If they're not liking you or if they're having a bad day, let them just deal with themselves, okay? They'll come to you if they want your advice. Incidentally, my friend Peggy O'Connell wrote the book on etiquette for professional actors. It's such a good book, you should buy it. If you want to learn more about the book, watch my interview with Peggy O'Connell right here. We've been talking about general career etiquette so far, but what happens when you have an audition or a callback? How the heck are you supposed to behave in that situation? Watch this video to find out more.